Ladies and gentlemen, betrayal is a wound that cuts deep. It's a moment when someone you trusted, someone you opened your heart to, chooses to act against you. But let me tell you, the beauty of betrayal lies not in the pain it brings, but in the transformation it ignites. What was meant to destroy you can be the very thing that propels you into your destiny. You see, betrayal has a way of exposing truth. It strips away illusions and reveals the reality of who people truly are. And though it hurts, this revelation is a gift. Because only when the false is removed can you build your life on a foundation that will last. Betrayal forces you to stop leaning on the wrong people and start leaning into the purpose for which you were created. It's not a curse, it's a compass pointing you toward what truly matters. Consider this: no one ever betrayed someone insignificant. Betrayal happens when there is something of value in you that others envy, fear, or fail to appreciate. It's proof that you are carrying something extraordinary within you. Look at history. Some of the greatest leaders, the most impactful individuals, faced betrayal. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, but it led him to Egypt, where he saved nations. Jesus was betrayed by Judas, but that betrayal set in motion the greatest act of redemption the world has ever known. The pain of betrayal is real, but don't let it make you bitter, let it make you better. Every betrayal comes with a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. Forgiveness is your power. It doesn't mean you condone the wrong, it means you refuse to let the wrong control you. Forgiveness frees you to move forward without the weight of anger or resentment holding you back. And let me say this: betrayal often separates you from those who cannot go where you are going. It's a divine filtering process. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your future. So when someone betrays you, don't chase them. Let them go. They are making room for those who will stand with you, believe in you, and support your vision. Remember, the seed must first be buried in darkness before it can break through the soil and grow into its potential. Betrayal might feel like you've been buried, but in truth you've been planted. You're being positioned for greater things. The pain is temporary, but the purpose is eternal. So rise from the ashes of betrayal. Let it refine you, not define you. Use it as fuel to light your path forward. There is beauty in betrayal because it doesn't end your story, it begins a new chapter. Stand tall, walk boldly, and remember that what was meant for your harm, God will turn for your good. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences a person can endure. Yet within its sting lies an invaluable gift, the revelation of truth. When betrayal occurs, it peels back the layers of illusion and forces us to confront reality in its raw, unvarnished form. This truth, though harsh, is what ultimately sets us free. It is through betrayal that we learn to discern the authentic from the counterfeit, the sincere from the deceptive. While the initial shock and pain can leave us questioning everything, it is in this upheaval that we are granted clarity, a clarity that we might never have sought or found otherwise. Betrayal often comes from those we trust most deeply. It's not the actions of strangers that cut us to the core, but the choices of those we've allowed into our inner circle. Trust is a sacred bond, and when it's broken, it feels as though the very foundation of our relationships has been shattered. Yet, this breaking is what reveals what lies beneath. It's easy to live in a world of assumptions, to believe that every smiling face is a friendly one and that every handshake is sincere. Betrayal, however, shatters these illusions. It forces us to see people as they truly are, not as we wish them to be. There is a profound power in this revelation, even if it doesn't feel empowering in the moment. Betrayal strips away the masks people wear, exposing their true intentions and character. It's as though a bright light is shone into a dark room, revealing hidden cracks and flaws we were previously blind to. This might seem cruel or unfair, but it is in fact a blessing in disguise. How much more devastating would it be to continue walking in blind trust, unaware of the dangers lurking in the shadows? Betrayal spares us from the greater pain of living in ignorance. It's a painful teacher, but its lessons are invaluable. In many ways, betrayal is like a fire. It burns away what is false and leaves behind only what is real. Think of gold being refined in a furnace. The intense heat removes impurities, leaving behind a purer, more valuable metal. In the same way, betrayal refines our understanding of others and ourselves. It forces us to reevaluate our relationships, to question who deserves our trust and loyalty. It's not about becoming cynical or distrustful, but about becoming wise. Wisdom is born from experiences that challenge our naivety and push us to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Sometimes betrayal also reveals truths about ourselves. It forces us to confront our own vulnerabilities and examine why we placed our trust where we did. This introspection can be uncomfortable, but it's an essential part of growth. Did we ignore warning signs? Were we too eager to see the good in someone despite evidence to the contrary? Betrayal can be a mirror, reflecting not only the flaws of others, but also the areas where we need to grow and strengthen ourselves. It's an opportunity to build resilience, to become more discerning, and to set healthier boundaries in the future. Betrayal also teaches us that not everyone who walks with us is meant to stay with us. People enter our lives for different reasons and seasons. Some come to support and uplift us, while others serve as lessons. Betrayal often acts as a divine intervention, separating us from those who cannot or should not continue on our journey. This separation, though painful, is necessary. It clears the way for people who genuinely align with our values and vision. When betrayal occurs, it's tempting to cling to the relationship, to seek explanations or closure. But sometimes the betrayal itself is the closure we need. It's a signal that it's time to move forward, to let go of what no longer serves us. There's also a deeper truth that betrayal reveals the strength within us to endure and overcome. In the moment of betrayal, we may feel weak, broken, and vulnerable. But as we process the pain, we discover a resilience we didn't know we had. Betrayal forces us to stand on our own, to find our footing without the crutch of misplaced trust. It's a trial by fire, but one that leaves us stronger and more self-reliant. The truth that betrayal uncovers isn't just about others, it's also about our own capacity to heal, to grow, and to thrive in the face of adversity. When betrayal reveals truth, it's not an end, it's a beginning. It's the start of a new chapter, one where we see with clearer eyes and walk with greater wisdom. The pain may linger, but so too does the clarity it brings. And in time, that clarity becomes a source of strength, enabling us to navigate life with greater confidence and purpose. Betrayal, as painful as it is, carries an undeniable truth. It only happens to people who matter. Insignificance never attracts betrayal. It is the presence of value, potential, or greatness that draws attention, both positive and negative. When someone betrays you, it's often because they see something in you that they cannot handle, accept, or compete with. This realization doesn't lessen the sting, but it reframes the experience. Betrayal is not a reflection of your flaws or failures. It's a reflection of the power, promise, and influence you carry. People don't betray mediocrity. When there is nothing to gain, nothing to envy, or nothing to fear, there is no motivation for betrayal. Consider the stories of some of history's most influential figures. They were often betrayed not because they were weak, but because they were strong, so strong that others felt threatened by their light. Take Joseph, for example, a young man gifted with dreams and favored by his father. His brothers betrayed him not because he had done wrong, but because his potential intimidated them. They couldn't handle the greatness they saw in him. His dreams made them uncomfortable, and their betrayal was rooted in jealousy and insecurity. This is a pattern repeated throughout history. People who stand out, who dare to dream big or strive for more, often become targets. Betrayal is the price of significance. It's a painful reminder that when you carry something extraordinary, not everyone will celebrate it. Some will misunderstand it, some will envy it, and others will actively try to sabotage it. But here's the truth: their betrayal says more about them than it does about you. It reveals their inability to handle your greatness, their fear of being overshadowed, or their desperation to possess what they cannot create for themselves. Recognizing this truth doesn't make betrayal any less hurtful, but it empowers you to see it for what it is. It's not a commentary on your worth, but on your impact. The very fact that someone chose to betray you is evidence of the value you bring to the table. If you were insignificant, they wouldn't have bothered. Their betrayal is a twisted form of validation, proof that you are carrying something of worth. This truth should ignite a fire within you, a determination to keep moving forward. Because if betrayal is proof of value, then it's also a sign that you're on the right track. It means you are living a life that matters, one that challenges the status quo and inspires emotions both positive and negative in those around you. And while it's natural to feel disheartened by betrayal, it's crucial to remember that your value remains intact. The actions of others cannot diminish your worth or derail your destiny. Betrayal often comes when you're on the brink of something significant. It's as though the universe is testing your resolve, asking, will you let this stop you or will you rise above it? Those who betray you are often acting out of fear of your potential, fear of losing their influence, or fear of being left behind. Their actions are not about you, but about their insecurities. Understanding this can help you process the pain and move forward without bitterness. Think of betrayal as a mirror. It reflects not only the character of the one who betrays, but also the strength of the one who is betrayed. It takes courage to carry greatness, to pursue dreams, and to walk a path that others may not understand. And it takes even more courage to keep going after betrayal. But this is exactly what separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't. The ability to see betrayal for what it is, a validation of your value, and to keep moving forward is what defines resilience. Sometimes betrayal is a disguised compliment. It's a backhanded acknowledgement that you have something worth coveting or fearing. While it doesn't excuse the betrayal, it offers perspective. It reminds you that your light is shining so brightly that it cannot be ignored. And though some may try to dim it, they cannot extinguish it. Your value is not dependent on their recognition or approval. It exists because of who you are and what you carry. Betrayal can also be a catalyst. It pushes you to re-examine your life, your relationships, and your purpose. It challenges you to rise above the hurt and channel your energy into something greater. It's a moment of reckoning that forces you to reaffirm your worth and double down on your dreams. Because if betrayal is proof of value, then it's also a call to protect and nurture that value. It's a reminder to be discerning about who you allow into your inner circle and to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. So when betrayal comes, and it will, because your greatness demands it, don't let it break you. Let it remind you of who you are and what you carry. Let it fuel your determination to keep moving forward, to keep shining, and to keep making impact. Because your value is undeniable, and no act of betrayal can ever take that away. The pain of betrayal is undeniable, but hidden within that pain is an opportunity for profound transformation. Betrayal doesn't just break the heart, it cracks open the soul, exposing a depth of resilience and strength that often lies dormant until tested. What initially feels like an unbearable loss can become the birthplace of growth and transformation. The beauty of betrayal is that it doesn't leave you the same. It forces you to evolve, adapt, and rise above circumstances that were meant to keep you down. When betrayal strikes, it feels like the ground beneath you has been ripped away. The foundation of trust and safety crumbles, leaving you in a free fall of emotions. But it is in this fall that transformation begins. Just as seeds must fall to the ground and be buried before they can grow, betrayal plants the seeds of change within us. The pain serves as a catalyst, pushing us out of our comfort zones and compelling us to examine our lives, our choices, and our relationships with fresh eyes. Transformation through pain is not a passive process. It requires active engagement with the hurt, the confusion, and the anger that betrayal brings. There is no shortcut through this process. It is a journey that demands honesty, vulnerability, and courage. But as we confront the pain, we begin to see its purpose. We start to recognize that the betrayal wasn't just an event meant to harm us, but an experience meant to shape us. It strips away the illusions we held, not just about others, but also about ourselves. In the aftermath of betrayal, we are forced to confront our own patterns, our own vulnerabilities, and our own capacity for resilience. Pain has a way of sharpening our focus. When betrayal enters our lives, it removes the distractions, the superficialities, and the unimportant. It brings clarity to what truly matters and who truly matters and who truly matters. Betrayal exposes the weaknesses in our support systems, forcing us to reevaluate who deserves our trust and energy. This is not a punishment, but a gift, a painful, raw, and transformative gift that allows us to rebuild our lives on a stronger foundation. There is a raw power in transformation through pain. Think of the process of refining precious metals. Gold, for instance, is placed in a furnace and subjected to intense heat. The fire is not meant to destroy the gold, but to purify it, to remove its impurities and make it more valuable. Similarly, betrayal is a fire that burns away what is false, leaving behind the truth of who we are. It refines our character, strengthens our resolve, and teaches us lessons we might never have learned otherwise. Betrayal also forces us to tap into an inner strength we may not have known we possessed. In the face of broken trust, shattered relationships, or lost opportunities, we discover our capacity to stand back up, to heal, and to move forward. This is not a simple or easy process, but it is one that builds resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain, but the ability to endure it, to learn from it, and to emerge stronger because of it. Betrayal pushes us to the edge of what we think we can handle, only to reveal that we are capable of so much more. One of the most transformative aspects of betrayal is its ability to shift our perspective. When someone betrays us, it's easy to feel like a victim, to focus on the injustice and the unfairness of it all. But as we move through the pain, we begin to realize that betrayal is not the end of our story. It is a chapter, a difficult and painful one, but not the defining moment of our lives. It becomes a turning point, a moment where we choose how we will respond. Will we allow the betrayal to define us, or will we use it as a springboard for growth? Betrayal teaches us to let go of what no longer serves us. It forces us to release the relationships, expectations, or beliefs that have held us back. This process of letting go is painful, but it is also liberating. It creates space for new opportunities, new connections, and new possibilities. Transformation requires release, and betrayal often provides the push we need to let go of what is weighing us down. Through the pain of betrayal, we also learn the importance of self-love and self-worth. Betrayal can make us question our value, our judgment, and our place in the world. But as we heal, we come to understand that our worth is not determined by the actions of others. It is intrinsic, unshakable, and unchanging. Betrayal forces us to reconnect with ourselves, to prioritize our well-being, and to recognize our own strength and value. Transformation through pain is a messy, complicated, and deeply personal journey. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't follow a linear path. There are moments of despair, moments of anger, and moments of doubt. But there are also moments of clarity, moments of strength, and moments of hope. Betrayal pushes us to dig deep, to confront our pain, and to find meaning in the midst of it. And as we emerge from the other side, we find that we are not the same. We are stronger, wiser, and more resilient. What was meant to break us has instead built us into something greater. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and transformative acts a person can engage in, especially in the aftermath of betrayal. When someone betrays you, it feels as though they've stolen a piece of your trust, your peace, or even your identity. The natural response is anger, bitterness, and the desire for justice or revenge. Yet forgiveness is the antidote not only to the bitterness that betrayal can leave behind, but also to the emotional chains that can bind you long after the act itself. Forgiveness is not about excusing the betrayal or condoning the harm. It's about reclaiming your power and freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. When you choose to forgive, you are not saying that what happened was acceptable. Instead, you are making the conscious decision not to allow the actions of another to control your emotional or mental well-being. Betrayal has the potential to leave scars that linger long after the initial wound has healed. These scars can manifest as bitterness, distrust, or even hatred, and they can weigh you down in ways you may not fully realize. Forgiveness, however, is the key to breaking free from this cycle. It's an act of self-liberation, a way to release the grip that betrayal has on your heart and mind. Forgiveness is a process, not an event. It requires time, effort, and intentionality. The pain of betrayal doesn't simply disappear when you decide to forgive. Instead, forgiveness is a journey of acknowledging the hurt, processing the emotions, and ultimately choosing to let go. It's about releasing the burden of anger and resentment so that you can focus on your own healing and growth. Forgiveness is not a passive act. It's a powerful declaration that you refuse to be defined by the actions of others. One of the most significant misconceptions about forgiveness is the idea that it's for the benefit of the person who betrayed you. In reality, forgiveness is primarily for you. It's about reclaiming your peace and your power. When you hold on to anger and resentment, you allow the betrayal to continue to affect you. You replay the event in your mind, reliving the hurt and keeping the pain alive. Forgiveness breaks this cycle. It allows you to move forward without carrying the weight of past hurts. It's an act of self-care, a way to protect your own well-being. Forgiveness also transforms the way you see yourself. Betrayal has a way of making you feel small, powerless, or even foolish for trusting someone who let you down. It can erode your sense of self-worth and make you question your judgment. But when you choose to forgive, you reclaim your agency. You take back control of your narrative. Forgiveness is a reminder that you are not defined by what happened to you, but by how you respond to it. It's an act of strength, not weakness, and it shows that you are capable of rising above the hurt. Another transformative aspect of forgiveness is the way it opens the door to healing. Holding on to anger and resentment can create a barrier to emotional recovery. It keeps you stuck in the pain of the past, unable to fully embrace the present or look forward to the future. Forgiveness, on the other hand, creates space for healing to take place. It allows you to release the negative emotions that weigh you down and to focus on rebuilding your life. Healing is not about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about finding peace despite the pain. Forgiveness also teaches valuable lessons about empathy and humanity. When you choose to forgive, you acknowledge that people are flawed and that mistakes, even deeply hurtful ones, are part of the human experience. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or allowing toxic people to remain in your life. Instead, it means recognizing that everyone carries their own struggles, insecurities, and imperfections. Forgiveness is not about the other person deserving it. It's about you choosing to offer it for your own sake. It's a way of saying, I will not let your actions define who I am or dictate how I feel. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation. This is an important distinction. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to welcome them back into your life. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional hold they have on you, not about restoring the relationship. In some cases, the healthiest choice is to forgive and let go, creating boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. Forgiveness and reconciliation are separate processes, and one does not necessarily depend on the other. One of the most powerful aspects of forgiveness is the freedom it brings. When you choose to forgive, you are no longer bound by the pain of the past. You release the chains of anger, bitterness, and resentment, allowing yourself to move forward with clarity and purpose. Forgiveness doesn't erase the hurt, but it allows you to rise above it. It empowers you to focus on your own growth and happiness rather than being consumed by what someone else did to you. Ultimately, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's a way of saying that you value your peace more than your pain, that you choose to prioritize your healing over your hurt. Betrayal may leave scars, but forgiveness ensures that those scars become symbols of strength rather than reminders of pain. It's a choice to let go, to move forward, and to live free. Forgiveness is your power, your freedom, and your path to peace. The pain of betrayal often creates a whirlwind of emotions with anger, confusion, and sadness swirling together, leaving us feeling disoriented and raw. One of the most powerful responses to this chaos is to learn how to channel that pain into purpose. It's not about ignoring or suppressing the hurt, but rather using it as fuel to propel us forward. Betrayal, as devastating as it is, has the potential to be a transformative force. It can ignite a fire within us that pushes us to redefine ourselves, refocus our goals, and rebuild our lives with newfound strength and determination. Pain has a way of revealing our deepest desires and motivations. When betrayal strikes, it shakes us to our core, forcing us to re-examine our lives. The relationships we've built, the trust we've given, and the paths we've chosen come under scrutiny. In the midst of this reflection, we often discover aspects of ourselves or our circumstances that we had overlooked. Betrayal forces us to confront hard truths, and it's through this confrontation that clarity begins to emerge. Pain becomes a mirror, showing us not only where we've been hurt, but also where we need to grow, change, and realign. Channeling pain into purpose begins with acceptance. This doesn't mean accepting the betrayal itself or condoning the actions of the person who hurt us. Rather, it means acknowledging the pain and recognizing it as part of our journey. Pain is a natural response to betrayal, and allowing ourselves to feel it fully is the first step toward transformation. By accepting the reality of what has happened, we stop fighting against it and start looking for ways to move forward. This shift in mindset opens the door to possibility, allowing us to see pain not as an end point, but as a starting point. One of the most powerful tools for turning pain into purpose is creativity. Many of the world's greatest works of art, music, literature, and innovation have been born out of pain. When we channel our emotions into creative expression, we transform our suffering into something meaningful and impactful. Creativity allows us to process our emotions, make sense of our experiences, and share our stories with others. It's a way of turning something destructive into something constructive. Whether through writing, painting, building, or dreaming, creativity gives us a way to reclaim our power and reshape our narrative. Betrayal also has a unique way of sharpening our focus. It removes the distractions of superficial relationships and false connections, allowing us to refocus our energy on what truly matters. When someone betrays us, it's easy to feel like everything is falling apart. But in reality, betrayal often clears the path for something better. It forces us to reassess our priorities and realign our lives with our values. Pain can be a guide, pointing us toward the areas of our lives that need attention, healing, or change. It strips away what no longer serves us and creates space for growth. Another way to channel pain into purpose is by helping others. Betrayal often isolates us, making us feel alone in our suffering. But when we use our pain to empathize with and support others who are struggling, we transform it into a force for good. Sharing our experiences can inspire and empower others, reminding them that they too can overcome adversity. Pain becomes a bridge that connects us to others, creating a sense of community and shared humanity. It's through these connections that we find healing, meaning, and purpose. Pain also has the power to fuel ambition. Many people have used the pain of betrayal as motivation to pursue their dreams, achieve their goals, or prove their worth. It's not about seeking revenge or validation from others. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of rising above the hurt. Betrayal can be a turning point, a moment that pushes you to strive for more, to reach higher, and to become the best version of yourself. It's a reminder that your life is not defined by the actions of others, but by the choices you make in response to those actions. One of the most important lessons in channeling pain into purpose is learning to forgive, not for the sake of the betrayer, but for your own well-being. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the betrayal. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. When you let go of these negative emotions, you create space for positive growth. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-liberation, allowing you to focus on your future rather than being trapped in the past. Pain, when channeled correctly, becomes a source of strength. It builds resilience, teaching us that we are capable of enduring and overcoming even the most challenging circumstances. Every step we take toward healing is a step toward discovering our true potential. Betrayal doesn't have to break us. It can build us into something greater. It can inspire us to dream bigger, love deeper, and live with greater authenticity and purpose. The pain we endure becomes the foundation for the strength we gain, and the lessons we learn become the wisdom we carry forward. Ultimately, betrayal is not just a moment of loss, it's an opportunity for transformation. When we choose to channel the pain into purpose, we reclaim our power and rewrite our story. The hurt becomes a catalyst for growth, and the betrayal becomes a stepping stone to something greater. Pain, when embraced and redirected, has the power to shape us into the people we were meant to become. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because on the other side of pain lies a purpose so profound, so meaningful, that it makes the journey worthwhile. Betrayal has a way of making you feel powerless. It pulls the rug from beneath your feet, leaving you questioning your worth, your decisions, and sometimes even your identity. In the immediate aftermath, it's natural to feel as though the power has shifted entirely to the hands of the betrayer. But the truth is that power doesn't belong to them, it belongs to you. One of the most significant lessons betrayal can teach is how to reclaim your power and your voice in the face of pain. It's not an easy journey, but it is an essential one, and it begins with a conscious decision to take back control of your narrative. When betrayal occurs, the initial reaction is often shock and disbelief. You trusted someone, you invested in them, and they violated that trust. In that moment, it feels as if they've taken something from you, whether it's your peace, your confidence, or your faith in others. But while they may have caused harm, they cannot define your story. Reclaiming your power means recognizing that no one has the authority to shape your identity or your future but you. Their actions do not diminish your worth or your capacity to rise. The first step to reclaiming your power is to acknowledge your feelings. Suppressing emotions or pretending the betrayal didn't hurt only serves to prolong its hold over you. By allowing yourself to feel the pain, the anger, and even the sadness, you begin the process of healing. These emotions are valid and necessary, but they are not where you are meant to stay. They are a starting point, a place to process the hurt before moving forward. Reclaiming your power involves taking ownership of these emotions rather than letting them control you. Part of regaining control is redefining your boundaries. Betrayal often exposes where boundaries were weak or non-existent. It's a painful lesson, but it's also an opportunity to set new standards for yourself and for how others treat you. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about protecting your peace and ensuring that only those who respect and value you have access to your life. Reclaiming your power means understanding that you have the right to demand respect, to say no, and to prioritize your own well-being without guilt. Another critical element of reclaiming your power is choosing your response. Betrayal might tempt you to react out of anger or vengeance, but these reactions often give the betrayer more power over you. Instead, focus on actions that reflect your strength and dignity. Taking the high road doesn't mean ignoring what happened. It means refusing to let the betrayal define your behavior. It's about showing yourself and the world that you are more than the pain you've experienced. Finding your voice is equally important in this journey. Betrayal can make you feel silenced, as if your opinions, feelings, or worth no longer matter. Reclaiming your voice means asserting your truth not just to others, but to yourself. It's about standing tall in your authenticity and refusing to be diminished by someone else's actions. This might involve speaking up, setting the record straight, or simply reminding yourself daily that your voice deserves to be heard. Reclaiming your power also involves self-reflection and growth. Betrayal often leaves us questioning our choices and our trust in others. While it's important not to blame yourself for someone else's actions, it's equally important to use the experience as an opportunity to learn and grow. What can this betrayal teach you about your own needs, values, and priorities? How can it strengthen your discernment in future relationships? Turning the focus inward allows you to emerge from the betrayal not as a victim, but as someone wiser and more self-aware. Forgiveness plays a role in reclaiming your power, not for the benefit of the betrayer, but for yourself. Holding on to resentment and anger keeps you tethered to the pain, giving the betrayal ongoing power over your emotions and thoughts. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the betrayal. It means releasing the hold it has on you. It's an act of liberation, a way of saying, I will not let this define me. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's a profound declaration of strength and self-respect. Ultimately, reclaiming your power after betrayal is about taking responsibility for your own healing. It's about refusing to let the actions of another dictate your happiness or your future. You cannot control what others do, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to rise, to rebuild, and to reclaim your voice. Your power lies in your ability to take the pain of betrayal and transform it into a foundation for growth, resilience, and self-empowerment. Betrayal often feels like an irreparable fracture in trust, a shattering of the foundation upon which a relationship or belief was built. It can leave you questioning the intentions of others, doubting your own judgment, and feeling reluctant to trust again. The walls that go up after betrayal are understandable. Self-protection is a natural response to pain. Yet, if you allow those walls to remain, you risk isolating yourself from the beauty and depth of human connection. Learning to rebuild trust after betrayal is not about forgetting what happened or blindly opening yourself up again. It's about finding a way to move forward with wisdom and courage. Rebuilding trust begins with self-trust. Betrayal has a way of making you question your instincts and judgment. You might wonder how you didn't see it coming or why you allowed yourself to be vulnerable. These questions can spiral into self-blame, which only deepens the wound. To rebuild trust, you must first forgive yourself for whatever part of the experience you feel responsible for. Recognize that trusting someone is not a weakness, it's a reflection of your capacity to hope, believe, and connect. Betrayal reflects the choices of the other person, not your ability to discern or your worthiness of loyalty. Reclaiming self-trust means affirming your ability to learn from the experience without letting it define you. One of the hardest aspects of rebuilding trust is confronting fear. The fear of being hurt again can be paralyzing. It's tempting to avoid vulnerability altogether, to build emotional fortresses and let no one in. But trust is a vital part of life. It's what allows relationships to thrive, communities to flourish, and personal growth to occur. While the fear of betrayal may never fully disappear, it's important not to let it dictate your choices. Moving forward requires a balance of caution and courage. It's about giving yourself permission to take small steps, to test the waters, and to allow trust to grow gradually. Communication plays a central role in the process of rebuilding trust. After betrayal, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or other areas of life, open and honest dialogue is essential. If reconciliation is a possibility, both parties must be willing to address the breach openly. This involves acknowledging what happened, taking accountability, and discussing what needs to change moving forward. For the person who betrayed you, rebuilding trust means consistently demonstrating that they are worthy of it through actions that align with their words. For you, it means being honest about your feelings, boundaries, and expectations while also being willing to recognize genuine effort and growth. Rebuilding trust also requires time and patience. Trust is fragile and once broken cannot be restored overnight. It's a process that involves consistent actions over time, not grand gestures or empty promises. This applies not only to rebuilding trust in others, but also to trusting yourself in the world again. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this journey. Healing doesn't follow a linear path, and there will be moments of doubt and setbacks along the way. The key is to remain committed to the process, understanding that trust, once rebuilt, can become even stronger than before. An essential part of rebuilding trust is creating and respecting boundaries. After betrayal, boundaries are not only a means of self-protection, but also a way to ensure that trust is rebuilt on a solid foundation. Clear boundaries help to define what is acceptable and what isn't, ensuring that the relationship or situation moves forward with mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out, they're about creating a safe space for trust to grow. When boundaries are established and honored, they foster a sense of security that is critical for rebuilding trust. Perspective is another powerful tool in the journey to rebuild trust. Betrayal, while painful, can offer valuable lessons about people, relationships, and life. It forces you to reevaluate what you value, what you expect from others, and what you are willing to accept. These lessons, though hard-earned, become the foundation for a stronger, wiser version of yourself. As you rebuild trust, let these lessons guide you. They serve as reminders of your resilience and your ability to grow through even the most challenging circumstances. It's also important to remember that rebuilding trust doesn't always mean restoring the original relationship. Sometimes the betrayal reveals truths about a person or situation that cannot be ignored. In such cases, rebuilding trust might mean trusting yourself enough to let go and move forward without that person in your life. Trust isn't always about reconciling with others. It's about finding peace and confidence in your ability to navigate life's complexities with strength and wisdom. Rebuilding trust is an act of hope. It's a declaration that you refuse to let betrayal define your future or close your heart to the possibilities of connection and love. While it may take time and effort, the process of rebuilding trust is ultimately a testament to your resilience, your willingness to heal, and your belief in the beauty of human connection. Through this journey, you not only regain trust, but also rediscover your own strength and capacity for growth. Betrayal has a way of exposing the depths of our emotions, leaving us feeling vulnerable and questioning our worth. In the wake of betrayal, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt and fear, where every action, every word, and every relationship feels uncertain. Yet, despite the pain and heartache, betrayal also presents an opportunity for transformation and growth. It forces us to look inward, to confront our fears, and ultimately to rebuild a stronger sense of self. One of the most powerful lessons betrayal offers is the reminder that while we may not have control over the actions of others, we do have control over how we respond and grow from the experience. After betrayal, it's natural to focus on what went wrong, to reflect on where trust was broken, and to seek answers. However, true healing begins when we shift our focus from what happened to what we can learn and how we can evolve. Betrayal can be a catalyst for change, a call to redefine boundaries, reassess relationships, and reconnect with our inner strength. It provides the space to reimagine who we are and what we want moving forward. One of the initial responses to betrayal is often to withdraw emotionally to shield ourselves from further pain. While protection is necessary, isolating oneself can lead to deeper wounds and prolonged suffering. Rebuilding trust and self-worth requires vulnerability, but vulnerability does not mean weakness, it means courage. It's about allowing yourself to feel, to heal, and to grow from the experience rather than allowing it to define you. Through this process, you begin to reclaim your sense of self and your confidence in your ability to move forward, even when trust has been broken. Betrayal also forces us to confront the aspects of ourselves that we may have overlooked or ignored. It highlights where we may have been too trusting, too forgiving, or too accommodating. While these qualities are not flaws, they can leave us vulnerable if not balanced with discernment and self-respect. Through betrayal, we learn the importance of self-awareness, the need to understand our values, to set healthy boundaries, and to trust our instincts more deeply. It teaches us to be more mindful of who we let into our lives and how we engage in relationships. Moreover, betrayal encourages self-reflection. It compels us to ask hard questions. What did this betrayal reveal about the relationship? What role did I play in its development? What aspects of myself need strengthening to avoid similar experiences in the future? These questions aren't meant to assign blame, but to help us grow. They provide insight into how we can become more resilient, empathetic, and self-assured moving forward. Reflection leads to transformation, and through this process, we gain clarity and a deeper understanding of who we are and what we stand for. Betrayal also reminds us of the impermanence of life and relationships. It teaches us that nothing in life is guaranteed and people will make mistakes. While betrayal is painful, it highlights the importance of appreciating the present moment and focusing on what truly matters. It calls us to cherish the connections that are genuine and mutually respectful, while letting go of those that no longer serve us. In doing so, we create space for healthier relationships that are built on trust, authenticity, and mutual support. Another valuable lesson betrayal offers is the opportunity for growth and resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to adapt, and to continue moving forward despite challenges. Betrayal tests our emotional strength, but through that test, we discover our capacity to withstand difficulty and emerge stronger. The pain of betrayal does not define us, rather, it becomes a stepping stone to developing emotional fortitude, a skill that helps us navigate life's complexities with grace and confidence. Lastly, betrayal teaches us the importance of forgiveness, not for the benefit of the betrayer, but for our own well-being. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing harmful behavior. Instead, it's a way of releasing the power that the betrayal holds over us. By forgiving, we reclaim our emotional freedom and allow ourselves to move forward without being weighed down by anger or resentment. Forgiveness is a form of self-liberation, a recognition that we are worthy of peace and healing despite the pain. Betrayal may leave scars, but those scars can serve as reminders of the strength, wisdom, and growth that emerge from the experience. Through pain, self-discovery, and resilience, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our capacity to love, heal, and rebuild. Betrayal is not the end, it is a beginning, a journey toward becoming the best version of ourselves. In conclusion, betrayal is a complex and often painful experience that challenges us on many levels, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. While it may leave us feeling broken and uncertain, it also provides an opportunity for profound growth and transformation. Through the pain, we learn to reclaim our power, rebuild trust, and rediscover our inner strength. Betrayal teaches us the importance of self-awareness, boundaries, and resilience. It reminds us that we have the ability to rise above adversity, to heal, and to move forward with wisdom and purpose. Ultimately, how we respond to betrayal shapes who we become, a testament to our capacity for healing, growth, and authenticity. Thank you.